wolves are dominant, intelligent, calculating predators.
Yeah.
That they eradicated from the West for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I think you hit on a bunch of things that would like bring me back to my opinion on it, and that's that a lot of this stuff so I know they've basically described two different areas in Colorado where they're going to put the two first sets of transplants, and one of them is like right in where you're not. I mean, I rode that country with a horse like all over the place, and the circle of where they're going to put those wolves is right there. So I know where they're going to put those. One of the spots. I know the spot intimately. I know the wildlife there intimately.
How many, like, the transplanting of wolves, a very complex biological problem. I mean, you're dealing with biology and wildlife. How can they put that as a ballot initiative? Like, how can they put that in the hands of people other than wildlife conservation experts, wildlife biologists?
Well, I mean, the reality is our laws allow that. You know what I mean?
But
it doesn't make rational sense.
No. But it's a decision that for people that are just like, yeah, that'd be amazing. Let's put the wolves out there. Like, people are going to lose their dogs. Like,
sure.
Your dogs are going to get eaten. Like, it's going to affect anyone who has livestock. You're going to have a problem. Whether that problem's in 3 years or in 5 years, those problems are coming.
Yeah.
Dogs are 100% going to get eaten.
Right.
If you have a cute golden retriever like mine, you leave him outside, like, guess what? That dog's dead.
Sure.
They're going to team up on that dog and tear it apart.
Yeah.
And if you're cool with going outside and seeing wolves eat your dog, like, well, then you've made the right choice. But if you're not, like, if you don't think they're going to go after low-hanging fruit, if you don't think they're going to go after easy prey,
sure,
you don't understand wolves. Talk to people that live in Alaska.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who lives in, like, British Columbia, like, they have real fucking wolf problems up there.
Right.
And these are wolf problems that we used to have in the West, but they eradicated them.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's good to eradicate them. I'm not saying that what they did was right when they poisoned horses and left dead horses filled with strychnine and, and the wolves all died off. But they did it for a fucking reason.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that's so crazy about, back to the process of how it happened. Everybody who wants wolves in Colorado, and we can get into, the depth they want them, because that's not really clear. They just went through this whole, setting up the plan for the CPW, and it became very clear in my mind through watching that process that they don't really want there to be any, management of wolves in Colorado either. It's going to be
ever.
No, yeah. So basically,
well, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so I think. Anybody rational is going to be like, look, like, we got to have like a top to the population. Who knows, But what I was going to say is what's crazy about this ballot initiative and the bummer part about it is everybody that's going to deal with the negative consequences, they're people that voted no but they're in the areas where the wolves are going to be transplanted. Everybody that voted for it, they don't have to deal with the downside.
They're living in Boulder.
Yeah, dude, and I'm like you, man. They're cool. Like, I've been around them in Canada. They're way cool. But the problem is every person that I've interacted with in British Columbia, or even in the western states that have a fair amount of wolves, every person is just trying to make a living on the landscape. He's a guide, an outfitter, a logger, a cattle rancher, or whatever. Like, he's out there living. He or she's out there living with them and dealing with them. They're all just like, when you ask about wolves, they're like, it's just like, oh, you know what I mean? Because they got to deal with the negative consequences.